Hey everybody, what's going down the woods? 84 here. I had to turn the overhead light on over in here just because it's kind of overcast today. But yeah, we're talking about Speed Devils today. Now, Speed Devils is one of my favorite racing games on the Dreamcast. It's not as memorable as Pin Pin Tri-Icelon in my opinion, because Pin Pin Tri-Icelon is just so wacky, you know. This one is wacky. It's a little bit subdued. It feels kind of like a short game. It has really awesome tracks. Like there's this Hollywood stage where you see a big old dinosaur and a big old King Kong. I love stuff like that. Just kind of like an interactive arcade type racing game. I love arcade games. This strikes a really good balance between a realistic car racing game and a arcade game. So it's not like completely cartoony. It's just a little bit outside of the realm of reality, right? And there is an alternate cover for this. Now, when it comes to European exclusives or just like really hard to come by and expensive games, there's Evolution 2, which for some reason had like a very low pressing. So people in Europe, they, PAL, Gollum Cone's people, Gollum Cone's Ugandan tribe, they I don't know, that like they may or may not have Evolution 2. Was it Far Off Promise? But this one has an alternate cover because I think it was like Blockbuster or something didn't like the fact, it might have been Walmart, didn't like the fact that there was a big old devil guy on the cover. And he does look very evil and very menacing, and I think that there's a cover without the devil guy, so I have the most common version. I don't care. Like, I don't really collect the hot new versions or the orange spine versions or anything like that. Although, if I come across an orange spine game, that's pretty cool. Man, that's probably where I'm going to start collecting next. Because, like, I keep going as far as I can collecting in one way, and then I go the other. I feel really good right now. I just totally slept for, like, I want to say 24 hours, but it was like 22 hours or something like that. I've been doing a lot of sleeping and just been kind of in my head. You know, when you're just laying down in bed and you're just like left to your thoughts and stuff, but you're not necessarily trying to let your mind go into a negative sphere, you know, or a negative realm. See, there's like a tornado and stuff. I've been doing these limited edition box sets and stuff, and I got more of those for you guys to talk about. And I just think that the Dreamcast is really cool. I managed to upload that Spec Ops 2 Omega Squad in that limited edition. What was that? Maestro Drake, you were talking about the... it was a Card Captor Sakura. You said that there was a Sakura game on the... No, there's a Sakura cartoon on the WB. And, man, let me tell you, man, I appreciate you commenting and stuff. I feel like you're being, like, better, like a better friend to me. You know, and you and Gollum Cone are great right now on my channel. And I was just kind of counting my blessings and stuff. And I was just thinking to myself, man, I feel closer to you guys than I do the people I come across in my real world. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm glad we got YouTube and stuff like that. But, like, I do need to go on your channel and check out more of your stuff. If you're not familiar with Maestro Drake's channel, he does a lot of artwork. And he's showing off these comic book series that he's done since, I believe, 2009 or something like that. But he just finished uploading all of the videos for his Grim Planet series, and I believe that started off kind of grounded in reality with, just like some family stuff and school stuff and like delinquent type stuff, and then like the characters go off and it kind of goes into like a sci-fi element or like a fantasy element. So that stuff's cool. And Gollum Cone, you gave me a really cool comment on the Spec Ops 2 game. So, I just appreciate you being cool with all the knuckle bumps and the emojis. You're a good guy. You both are great. You guys are great, man. We got a little bit of a grassroots thing happening, but just small time YouTube goodness. It's good. Speaking of Speed Devils and everything, I just really like this game. It's got like this like classic 1950s, like, when they, do those, like, what is it called when they do, that old school racing, like in the 1930s and 40s or something. As you can see, it's just kind of got the hallmarks of a normal racing game, like where you can find little shortcuts and whatnot. The handling is just nothing to complain about. I've never had a hard time. I've played this game for hours, just kind of like zoned out, laid back, just kind of enjoying myself. And this is one of those games I think that you should do yourself a favor and put in cheat codes, because, I mean, you will be putting in a whole lot of time, but if you don't mind, I mean, this is a good quality game to put your time in. There's a Speed Devils Online, and we're going to be covering that next, but I don't think there's any kind of real difference. So that'll be a shorter review, I'm guessing. And I'm just feeling a little bit better, a little bit more optimistic, got a little bit more energy. We are on this little list. You probably can't see because it's too dark. But we are right... Speed Devils, where are you at? Okay, we're right here. So, yeah, we've talked about this, and we're up to right. I think it's better to point like that. So we're like right there. That's cool, man. NTSC games. It's crazy that I've reviewed so many Japanese games so far, because I've looked at my little list, or it might not be a straight up 100, but it's around 100. It might be realistically around 90, because I have like Japanese peripherals and accessories and hardware stuff. But I'm just excited to be here. I appreciate you guys. Like, I really do. Yeah, I would post anyway, but you guys really make it worth it. You know what I mean? Like, my regulars, you guys know who you are. And people who come in and come and go and stuff. I mean, I appreciate you guys too. Y'all are great. But, yeah, just taking up all your time with intros and stuff. Because Gollum Cone noticed when I just didn't have a proper intro with Spec Ops. But, yeah, let's count our blessings and start our day fresh and just, you know, have a good time. And we'll be playing this a little bit later. Speed Devils, everybody.
Was the volume up high enough for that? I don't know if you heard the music enough, but just look at this game. Kind of has that old school, what is it, drag racing type look to it. I've been seeing a lot of devils today. There's the Speed Devils devil guy, and I was driving today and I saw behind a car, it said back off, and it just showed a red devil face. And on the back of Spec Ops 2 Omega Squad, there was a little devil character. He's like Zombie or Zombic games or whatever. That's enough of the opening cinematic. I think they did a very good job with the opening movie. Looked a little bit pixelated. You know, when they showed the logo and everything, it looked just kind of jaggy. Hey, it looks very high definition right here. Yeah, let's hit that start button. Just that face right there, man. It's just really disturbing, I think. It's no wonder that, you know, there was an alternate cover for, what was it, Walmart or Blockbuster or whatever. Okay, so I guess let's just do arcade. We're just going to show off some of the stage. I played a little bit earlier today. So, I was going for something with high braking, and I went for this car earlier, but I'm thinking about just going for something a little bit more acceleration, maybe. Looks like, yeah, if they're blacked out like that, you can't select them. Okay, acceleration's pretty good. Things look pretty good there, but just looking at the stats, I'm wanting to something that's a little bit more this might be my car. Let's just check this one out. I always pick automatic. I don't really do manuals, and I don't do stick shifts. Now, this is the level that you think of when you're thinking about Speed Devils. Now, this is a good one. Mexico, Aspen Summers, pretty. They're all good. Nevada, yeah. I'm thinking I want to play Hollywood and Nevada, maybe Aspen Winter. Yeah, a lot of these are blocked off. You gotta unlock them, but it's cool. Oh, you can't cycle through. You gotta go all the way back. I love this game. Now, I absolutely have to play Hollywood just to show you what that's all about. Holly weird, you know what goes on over there. All kinds of stuff, you don't even want to talk about it. I'm going to turn up the volume a little bit so you can hear some of the music. Now, as you can suspect, the right trigger is the gas. So, I love Dreamcast games where the right trigger is the gas and you're not holding down the A button, because the right trigger really does feel natural. Now, if you're hitting the B button, that's your little nitrous oxide or whatever, your little Fast and the Furious Vin Diesel, or whatever you want to call it. Now, I let go of that, but I'm still accelerating. I'm not sure if the jet propulsion is ongoing or not. It seems like you don't really pick up power-ups, so I guess it just recharges. I don't see any kind of gauge that tells you that you have any kind of amount of nitrous oxide or whatever the rocket is, or whatever you want to call it. Now look at this dinosaur. Do you see that? Now I turn the I want to say volume, but it's the brightness up, and it might be a little bit too bright on your end, but I think you can make it out. This is very brown stage. Makes me think of The Godfather, the most brown movie. I'm just tapping the B button for the little boost, which seems to work in a pinch. Yeah, I'm keeping my #1 status. I think I ended in 2nd place, and I fell far behind first time playing earlier today, but I love this stage. You got all of the movie monsters in this stage. You got King Kong, got just some standard T-Rex, got Jaws. I want to say another one. That little icon makes me think of Rush Rally Racing, which is a game that I have burnt, but I'm not really interested in it. But if you want a reproduction copy of Rush Rally Racing, it's like $60 on eBay or something. Like full retail price for a game that's like 2D top down. It's like some of these indie games just aren't worth it, I don't think. Like Wind and Water Puzzle Battles. Look at that. I know you saw that big old monkey. It's probably a shortcut around this area, but here we are. Oh man, just got passed. Yeah, I just had a heartfelt discussion with my mother. Just talked to her on the phone about life's disappointments and just not being close to my sisters, and just how they're kind of treating my family wrong, treating me and her wrong. Kind of like they just went off and got married and stuff, and like did their own thing, and it's like we're nothing to them. Like, I mean, I was trying to talk about male disposability and just like how messed up it is that society has expectations. I was trying to talk about like cerebral things, like MGTOW things, like red pill stuff with my family, and they're just a bunch of women. They don't, they don't get it. They don't want to get it. There's blue pill. They don't care about anything beyond themselves, and I feel like, it's never my time to talk about anything like pertaining to how I feel or my experience. And and I wonder about that. I'm like, oh, why is it that it's never my time to talk about anything? And like, if I have to make it my time, it's like they still don't want to deal. Like, why is it that I don't have room to be a human? You know, so there's just a whole lot of like unresolved issues when it comes to me and my family, and it's painful. It's really hurtful, and I'm the type of person to where I want to talk about that kind of thing. I want to confront those things and like actively get to the root of it and try to figure out what I can do, and they just don't have time for me. It just makes it worse. I think I can take a... Oh, man. Okay, you gotta hit the... What? I'm trying to back up. Dang, man, but I lost so much ground. Well, I'm still, like, second place, but... I just wanted to show this stage off a little bit. I guess I don't need to finish this stage, but as you can see, there's, like, a big old T-Rex. And I think that this game is really commendable for it. I won't finish this stage. Let's just do a different stage. This game is so awesome, and it's just a good casual game. And I looked on Wikipedia, and this game gets a lot of 7s, 7.5s, not even quite 8s. And I can tell you right now what I am leaning on. I think this game deserves some grace. Now, oh, Maestro Drake, I just saw your review. I think it was on the Vita for Jet Set Radio. And yeah, man, that was really cool. You said that you did that video for me, man, so that's really cool of you. I need to dedicate videos to people. I just don't know how to do it. I guess I'm caught in my rut of doing these games, because, I mean, like you said, a lot of people do games. And, yeah, Maestro Drake, he's talking about stunt people right now. And it's really kind of cool to admire stunt people, because they don't really get a lot of fans. They don't get a lot of the recognition that they deserve. Like, they're underappreciated, kind of like how I feel as a person. You know what I mean? Just overlooked. It's like they play a part, but society doesn't care, you know? Just how men are in general. Just, we're underappreciated. This game has sufficient music. The music is a little bit memorable. This game, however, is not like, it's not regarded like it should be. And I think this is just a good shining example of just a really good underappreciated Dreamcast game. I mean, look at it. But it kind of suffers from the same thing that Pen Triathlons suffers from, which is the fact that the levels are too short and there's not enough of them. Like, you can unlock some stages, but some of them are just variations of a theme or the same track backwards. You know how they do. They just recycle the same track. They do it in the lazy way possible, but it's like they put in a whole lot of creativity, but it's just that you wish there was more. I have this song just etched in my brain because I remember the countless times I've played this game. It's got awesome backgrounds. It's just so ambitious. It's cool. Yeah, like I said, Wikipedia, it compiled all these different reviews. Look, there's a UFO. Makes me think of Midway games. It makes me think of Hydro Thunder a whole lot, which is another great racing game that's like a variation on a theme. It's not cars, it's boats. And I think Hydro Thunder is a great Dreamcast game because, like, the controller looks like a boat. And yeah, man. I said in Maestro Drake's comment and on his video where he was talking about Jet Set Radio, I was talking about how the Dreamcast went out kind of like a comet or like a star or like a, you know what I mean? Like a burning, like when an asteroid hits the ozone layer, it just burns up, you know? Like, the Dreamcast just died so hard and quick that it, like, nobody went out like the Dreamcast. It's like, the Dreamcast was like a war veteran or something that was just died in, like, guns blazing. Just died, I mean, I speak about Sega dying, but it's not like they really died. It's just that they took a knee. They took like the kids say, they took an L, which I still don't understand what that means. All I know is that things didn't turn out the way you wanted it to or something if you took an L. Taking an L. Man, kids say the stupidest stuff, man. Like, sometimes I'm like really like... I know Maestro Drake can probably relate because you're like 40... I think you're straight up 40, maybe a little bit older than 40, I don't know. I love this inside of the building or whatever right there. Now that's a shortcut, but I couldn't... sometimes you just can't. Sometimes you just can't. But this is the Nevada stage. It's very cool. Let's check out a different stage. Yeah, picking the same 88 car. I think you can pick different car skins later on, but I might be wrong. You might be able to change the color of the cars. Aspen Winter. I think that's the one I was wanting. Oh man, this game is so cool. I like it a lot, and I'm forgiving for the games that I just favor. You know? Yeah, Maestro Drake was rating Jet Grind Radio, I believe, a 7 out of 10. And I'm pretty comfortable with that because I'm not really nostalgic for it like some people are. Yeah, it's an iconic, awesome game and everything. But yeah, like the controls are bad. I mean, you have to get used to the stages. You have to play a bunch of times before you get the hang of it. It's kind of like Sonic Adventure in that regard. Playing Sonic Adventure as I'm older is just like, wow. Like, why did I love this game so? But back in the day, it was something else, man. I like this stage. It's very nice. I hope this comes out in the video. Makes me think of D2. Talk about D2, and I keep mentioning Maestro Drake, but he mentioned that there's just a bunch of games in the S category, and I agree. There's just so many S Dreamcast games, and I was also thinking about P, because there's Plasma Sword, Project Justice, Pin Tri-Isolon. I'm like, well, there's some P's in there. Then I was thinking about Q, and I was like, well, Qbert, Quake, you know. R, you got Rayman. Some people like Rayman. You know, think about A, like Air Force Delta, but you got like Numbers, which is like 4x4 Evolution or like 4x4 Jam. I think 4x4 Jam is like the best independent release game I've played, and it's not. That's because it's not really technically a independent game. It's a PSP game. Not to be confused with Vita, which is the Jet Set Radio. I wonder how many Sega games was on the Vita like that, but that's probably why we're never going to see a Dreamcast Mini, because the Dreamcast, the quote-unquote Dreamcast Collection, which is a poor name for a compilation disc, only had 4 games on it, and their Jet Set Radio was on there. I believe it was Sonic Adventure, Jet Set Radio, Sega Bass Fishing, and Space Channel 5 Part 2 for some strange reason. And yeah, I mean, people didn't really buy that game that much, and I bet you Sega's confused because they're like, hey man, like, you know, they just don't understand what the American people want. Like, if they had a quote-unquote Sega collection or a Dreamcast collection with Shenmue, it would have sold more. If they had Skies of Arcadia on there, it would have sold more. They just need to repackage and republish games that people want to play as opposed to Sega Bass Fishing. Nobody wants to play Sega Bass Fishing on the Xbox 360 with no fishing controller. What the heck is Sega thinking? I bet you they just had the rights to Sega Bass Fishing and they just wanted to do that. But this is the Aspen level. Just for variety, I want to show a different stage. Talking about all kinds of stuff. I have a lot to say. I meant to go to the gym today and I didn't. Oh, and Gollum Cone, I was wondering, yeah, Maestro Drake said he was like around 40, but I forgot how old you said you were. You probably told me too. That's why I feel like a crappy, like I do feel like a crappy person sometimes, because like sometimes y'all tell me stuff and it's like I should remember, but it's not like I write stuff down. Some people do, and I think that's kind of creepy. Like I was playing on PSO with this one guy. I haven't played as that Montana yet, that car. And like I told him some superfluous information about myself. He said, "Oh, that's great." I'm gonna write that down. I was like, I don't know. And he said he was drinking too that night, and I'm like, I don't know what to think of this guy. who writes down stuff about people on PSO? It's like they're trying to police. It's New Mexico. This looks cool with the waterfall and everything. Drinking some tea. It's real good, man. It's some of that unsweetened gold leaf tea. So when you're thirsty, man, just some unsweet tea, man. I've always been an unsweet tea guy. I just can't stand sugar in my tea. And you know, living in the South, man, people have to have their sweet tea, and it's disgusting. I think it's just diabetes, man. Wow, this one's at nighttime. Aztec, man, this makes me think of Apocalypto. Have you guys ever seen Apocalypto? And I keep bringing up Maestro Drake, but I think he said that he was going to talk about horror movies, and like, I'm down for that, man. Like, I saw a Cinemassacre video where they were talking about Tourist Trap, and I've never seen Tourist Trap, and I'm not sure if that's one with mannequins or not, but that's kind of an unexplored horror movie. I saw this movie called Society, and I think that's just kind of an, you know, underrated, overlooked. Yeah, I mean, like, who here has heard of Society? That's a crazy movie if you have never seen it. I think the less you know about that movie, the better going in. And of course, I like the schlocky, you know, Toxic Avenger and Poltergeist and some of that stuff. Freaked, like Freaked with Randy Quaid. Randy Quaid was awesome in the 90s. I mean, I want to say he's still awesome, but he kind of got into the conspiratorial type stuff, and I'm not discrediting him for that, because he was talking about Star Whackers, and I totally believe it. Oh yeah, there's this bridge. This is a hard level to see, so you guys deserve better. Okay, I picked Canada Autumn. This game screams San Francisco Rush. It just kind of has like the same presentation, I think. But I think it's better, because I remember liking San Francisco Rush on the demo disc on the official Dreamcast magazine a whole lot better than the actual game. And I think it all boils down to presentation. There was some sort of mystique with the demo disc where I was playing it, and it was probably one of the better games on that particular demo disc. There's something to do with demo discs that get you to buy games that you would not purchase. Like, I remember liking Demolition Racer No Exit way better on the demo disc. This is a good stage to show off. It has like pink hues and stuff. It's like a brown level, but it's still kind of cool. I love trees, guys, and I was just thinking today about how I love landscapes and how I could just immerse myself in the beauty of nature and feel fulfilled through that. You know, there's something about being in nature and just kind of absorbing yourself into it and losing yourself into it. That, you know, and you can meditate and just fade into nature, I guess. You know, just I was thinking today at work about being peaceful and just making things as painless as possible for other people, and in doing that makes it painless for you. You know, because you don't want to be hung up on stuff. Like, life is full of loose ends and no answers and stuff, and things are frustrating, but you could do what you can to just make everything as drama-free, I guess. Until, you know, I'm not saying, like, be nihilistic and just go ahead and kill yourself or nothing like that. I think that sucks. Because, like, why do that, you know? Like, I don't know, man. Oh, I forgot to mention that you can change the camera. Let's take a right. This is going to be kind of a long review, but I like this game. This game is worth talking about, man. Look at how beautiful this game is. Oh man, look at the jumps and stuff that you do. It's just fun. I think that this might be a one-player only game, which is kind of the game's downfall. I think that's probably why this game got mostly 7s and 7.5s, not even quite 8s. But you know, hey, I think it is worth checking to see. Let me look on the case real quick. It is actually it's 1 to 2 players. Doesn't really make sense. Yeah, you can play this with other people. That's dope. What are they talking about 7 and 8s, man? Like, am I the only person that appreciates some of these games? Like, I love Coaster Works. How come people don't really talk about that? And that game's super cheap. I don't get it. Why do people rate Dreamcast games so low? Because at the time when they came out, they looked better than anything. And I think that most of them were sufficient enough to warrant good scores, like this one. Despite it being too short, I mean, there's still enough content where it feels like a pretty good game. I mean, it's definitely a great rental. You know, I think it's worth owning, but like you can't knock it for being it's a good rental. You know, but I would give this game a good old 9. I'm gonna rate it really high. I'm not gonna give it like a straight 10 because, I mean, I love this game, but man, it's just, look at the trees, man. It's just so awesome. This is a beautiful game. There is something a little bit empty about most racing games where you play enough of it and you're like, okay, I get it, you know, and then you just kind of feel hollow because there's not really much substance. It's not like a RPG. It's not like an immersive things where things switch up like in Shenmue. It's not, I don't know, different games have different feels, right? And this one feels pretty good for what it is. Straight 9. Do I recommend this game? Yes, just very much so. This is a gem. This is a good game. This is on up there with like, it might not be on up there with like MDK2. I might not favor it that much. Like, I really look fondly, I look back on MDK2 very fondly, and this is definitely on up there. I think this is top 50 game material for the NTSC games list. I thought about doing like a personal top 50 before and stuff like that, and I think that would be a really fun game to do, but I think I'll probably do that after I review all of these games. So yeah, straight up 9 out of 10, and I totally recommend. This is a great game. I just say just play it and just look at it. Like, my words do this game little justice. This game is great. I guess I'll just record this last lap. But yeah, this is a really good stage to end it on. Well, yeah, as always, I appreciate you guys watching. Speed Devils, man, this is a really good one. Already said what I had to say, but excellent level designs. I think this on up there with like Zuzar Vezar. I personally like Zuzar Vezar because of the zaniness quality to it. It even ups the ante compared to this one. This one is great, but I don't know. They're kind of along the same lines. I think they're good complementary games, man. This game and Zuzar Vezar are just like kind of haunted games, but Zuzar Vezar is totally haunted, more so. I kind of like haunted games when they're, you know, they got that unique feel to it. Yeah, you gotta forgive me for having this game review being so long, but I'm in first place, so it's kind of hard to see the turn sometimes. Oh man, I just fell off into nothingness. I feel like I need my little jet propulsion to work here. I admit I'm not braking as much as I need to. Oh man, I just missed a turn, did I? Is it going to say wrong turn? Wrong way. I think I did miss a turn. Yeah. I'm gonna be second. Just makes me think of the X-Files or just simpler times, you know. I like that you can cut through this barn like this. And here we go. Just love this game. Alright guys, thanks again. Sorry for keeping you.